Hi, I'm back, and here's the stretching portion. We're going to start with the tipping bird. I know my head's going to get cut off, but that's okay. You don't need to see my head. I'm going to use this foam roller for balance. You could use a wall. You could just practice your balance. You could use a chair or a table. I am going to stand on my right leg. My hips are squared. I'm going to lean, reach down for the floor with my left hand as my left leg comes up. I'm going to turn my chest just a little bit to the right. And as soon as I feel that stretch, I'm going to come out. It's nice and slow. How slowly depends on you, but I kind of think about it like a slow weightlifting pace. Think about it as like a hydraulic system. And we're going to do about 8 to 10 each side. Make sure that your toe is pointing down, your hip isn't lifting up, and that you are definitely lifting that back leg as your chest comes down. It's not about touching the floor. It's about getting a stretch, right? And then we'll switch sides. So now I'm standing on my left leg. My right leg is behind me. I'm going to reach down with my right hand toward the floor, making sure that my hips are square. I'm not kicking this hip up because we want to get to that lateral line of the left leg. I'm reaching down with my right hand. Remember? Whatever leg you're kicking out in the back, the same arm is going to reach down for the floor. And remember just to stop as soon as you feel a stretch. I like this one for running because it gets close to the IT band. That lateral hamstring definitely gets worked. See it all the time in runners. And the lateral calf as well. All right, we're going to move on and do the hip flexor stretch. Pillow if you want it, or some blankets. I'm going to start on my right knee, left leg forward. Imagine your back leg pulling in toward your chest. Do the opposite of sticking your butt out. As soon as you imagine the back knee pulling in toward your chest, you should feel the front foot start to pull toward you. We want that. Yes. Hold that contraction, shift forward and back. Again, about 8 to 10. But, you could repeat this whole stretching cycle again. You would feel even more stretched out. I know because I've already messed up this video 3 times, so this is my 3rd time through. I'm feeling pretty good right now. If I want to get more into the quad aspect, I'm going to actually turn. Get into that rectus femoris. If I want to get into more of the hip flexor, I'm going to bring the foot in, scissor my inner thighs together, shift, and reach. So either way you want to do it is fine with me, wherever you're tight. And then if you have some blocks or a chair or whatever, you can hang on to that and do the hamstring stretch. So I'm going to pull the heel in toward me, keep pulling it in, and then back it up. I like to keep my toes pulled back toward my shin. It gives me a better calf stretch. And I think catches the whole fascia line a little bit better. If you point the toe, it'll just be more hamstring. But I also find that it's easier for me to keep this contraction going if my toes are pulled back toward my shin. And then I'm going to move the foot out to the side a bit. This is a passive stretch, but you can make it more into a dynamic stretch. I'm going to shift forward into like a lizard position. or gecko position, and I'm going to rock my hips from side to side. As I'm rocking, I'm kind of using my heel to pull me back and forth, to pulling it in if you wanted to make it more of a resistance stretch. Now, if you're really talented here, you could say 1, 2, 3, reach back with your left hand, catch your foot, push the foot into the hand. You can make it into a resistance stretch by pushing and pulling, or just holding. But I would say do at least a few push and pulls while you're here. And then I'm going to switch sides. So hip flexor on the opposite side. Right leg is forward. I'm pulling my left knee in toward my chest, it'll be like a scissoring action of the legs, which will cause my front heel to want to pull back. We want that. Do the opposite of sticking your butt out, shift forward and back. And again, about 8 to 10. And yeah, this is my third time through because the first one, the video cut out on me. Second one, my microphone was not plugged in correctly. And third one is not. I'm going to feel really, really stretched out after this. And again, if you want to get into the rectus femoris more, you're going to turn into the leg a little bit. And if you wanted to get to the iliacus a little bit more, pull the foot in on my dirty feet. I've been walking around barefoot. Scissor the inner thighs together and stretch and lean. And then we will do the hamstring stretch. Pull the heel in toward you and keep pulling it in toward you as you back it up. Again, I'm using the floor, but if you have limited flexibility, you might want to just get a chair to hold on to do this one. You can also play around with the direction of the toes. So I'm pulling my toes back toward the shin, but I could angle them in. That's going to give me a little more lateral calf. I could angle them out, which is going to give me a little more medial hamstring, medial calf. Play around with all these different directions, seeking out pockets of tightness. And then I'm going to take my foot and inch it out to the side, shift forward into this lizard or gecko position. I'm going to rock my hips from side to side. Just because it feels good, I sometimes just move around and whatever feels good is where I'm going to be for a little while. And then if you want to add that quad stretch in, reach back with your right hand, 1, 2, 3, flip it up. If your hamstring tightens up on you, then you'll have to go back and do more hamstring stretching on that side, maybe a downward dog, because the hamstrings always win. Once the calf or the hamstring tightens up, there's not much point in stretching the quad. You got to stretch the calf or the hamstring. And then we will move on to downward dog. Your typical downward dog. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips, press it up and back. So I'm laying on my left side and holding my left foot. Push and pull. And that's about it for today. Hope everybody's safe and well. Happy stretching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.